So two of them will be European inspired. One is the shakshuka and the other one is the cherry souffle. And we'll have a locally inspired dish which is the oyster omelette.
Right, oyster omelette. Do you love eggs, Felicia?
I love eggs.
Oh, how many eggs do you eat a day?
I eat like 2.
2, wow.
Yeah.
You are right smack in the WHO recommendation of eating 1 to 2 eggs a day. Fun fact! Eggs are a everyday ingredient, so it's not just like a seasonal product, and they are extremely high in nutritional value, so definitely this is something that is really versatile and very easy to use in any recipe. World Egg Day is on the second Friday of every October. In celebration of World Egg Day, this is a very relevant recipe as well that we are gonna do.
Yeah.
Did you know that eggs have 2 colors?
The one we usually see is the brown ones.
Yep, in Singapore mostly it's the brown ones, but there are also white egg shells.
Ah, okay.
And what do you think makes white eggs and brown eggs?
The color. Probably the breed of the chicken.
Absolutely correct. So brown hens actually make brown eggs, and white hens give you white eggs. There's absolutely no difference in taste or nutritional value. It's purely
just
aesthetic.
the color.
Yeah. So Poland is an agricultural powerhouse in Europe and also one of the largest egg producers in Europe. So there are 4 Polish hen farms approved by the Singapore Food Authority that allows exported table eggs into Singapore. And all of these hen farms are owned by one major producer, and they are called Fermi Woźniak. So Polish eggs are available in Singapore, and it's distributed through a local distributor. So you can see this is what it looks like. It literally says fresh
eggs
Poland.
Yeah.
So you know that these eggs are from Poland. So on these Polish eggs, you will also see that there is a serial code printed on the Polish egg. So it always comes with PL, which stands for Poland. This code is a proof of the multiple certification and accreditation by various authorities. Fermi Woźniak is one of the biggest producers of table eggs and eggs for the processing industry in Europe, with over 30 years of experience since 1986. They believe that modern agriculture businesses should be organic, open, and should have in mind that it's the consumer who makes the final decisions. Therefore, Fermi Woźniak puts priority on providing high-quality products and optimizing the manufacturing process with respect to natural resources. Furthermore, they strive for perfection and continuous development, constantly implementing innovative solutions to ensure effective cooperation with their customers. Fermi Woźniak is the Poland producer, but the brand Zdrowo is actually the domestic brand that is marketed in Poland. This is, however, not a brand that you'll see in Singapore, as we have brought it in through a local distributor. Here's a fun fact. Zdrowo is a wordplay on healthy egg. So Felicia will be cooking the 3 egg recipes we're introducing today, and I'll just be guiding you guys through some of the ingredients and maybe ask her some questions as well.
So let's head to the kitchen.
Okay, Felicia, what dish are we going to start making now?
We'll be making the shakshuka.
So shakshuka is a very classic Mediterranean and Middle Eastern dish. It's a tomato-based dish, and the signature look of it comes with, these beautiful baked eggs on top of it.
Yep. So for our version, we'll be using 2 eggs, and we'll be putting it on top of the shakshuka before we bake it.
Okay, so first we preheat the pan.
Yeah.
Olive oil to the hot pan. So adding garlic and chopped onions.
Yes. So we're going to stir fry it till it's a little bit golden brown.
Alright, till brown. So onions, when it's cooked, it becomes translucent, right?
Yeah. So now our onions and garlic, they are almost ready. And we have here 2 red pepper and 2 tomatoes, which we have diced up. So we're going to put it inside. So we'll start to water, but we'll slowly cook until the water reduces a little bit. It's almost done, and we can start seasoning our pepper and tomato.
We add seasoning now.
Yeah.
Okay, first up is
pepper. Then we have salt. So after seasoning it with salt and pepper, we're going to put a bit of paprika.
I love paprika.
Yeah, so if you can't take heat, don't put so much, or if you're feeding it to kids, you can omit the paprika. So now after the paprika, we'll put in a bit of sugar, because it can get a little bit sour. Alright, just mix it in. And for a deeper tomato flavor, we're going to put in a little bit of tomato paste. And once it cooked a little bit more, you have to taste it to see if you need more seasoning. So you probably will need more sugar if it's too sour. You need more spice if you want it to be a little bit more punchy. So once you see that it's boiled down a little bit already, then we are ready to put it into the oven.
Okay,
Right.
here is your baking dish.
Yes.
So Felicia's gonna dig two, right? We're gonna make
Yes,
two
you're gonna
small
put 2 eggs in there.
pockets here.
And then
And
we're
then-
going to add some parmesan. This is optional, so you can do without the cheese. So depending on whether you like it to be more cheesy or not, yeah, just put a little bit. And then parsley for the fragrance. So here we use English parsley. Alright, and we are ready to put it into the oven. We've preheated the oven at 220 degrees Celsius, so we're going to just bake it for around 10 to 15 minutes.
Alright, it looks done. Ooh, okay, hot. Okay.
So here is our completed shakshuka.
Made with 2 fresh Polish eggs.
Yeah.
Let's go on to the next recipe as well. What are we gonna make next, Felicia?
We're gonna make omelette, oyster omelette.
Alright, so omelette is a very famous local dish in Singapore and a hot hawker favorite.
Yeah. So here I have 2 tablespoons of potato starch. You can use sweet potato starch or flour, and then 1 tablespoon of rice flour. So we're just gonna put them together. So in order to just give the batter a little bit of flavor, we're just going to put a little bit of salt, just a little
Not
bit.
just any salt, sea salt. Again.
Then 130 ml of water. So just make sure that you give it a good stir and there are no lumps. Now after the batter, we're going to make the egg mixture. So here we have 4 eggs. We're going to just put a little bit of fish sauce.
Right.
Be careful on this because it can get very intense.
It's
So
quite pungent, right? Like
yeah,
fish sauce.
so I'm just going to put a little bit, probably like 1.5. Then a dash of pepper. Alright, so we have to whisk it just to make sure that all the sauces are incorporated. So we have the egg mixture as well as the batter. And we'll be ready to cook.
Okay, so of course, oyster omelette, you need oysters.
Yep, okay, so here we have some canola oil. Be generous.
For eggs and Chinese cuisine, we use a lot of oil because it actually soaks up a lot of the oil, but that makes it extra moist and like fluffs up the eggs also.
So before you put in, you just make sure you give it a good stir because it will settle at the bottom. So what you do is you pour it in by the side and not directly into the center. Be careful! Alright, so once it starts to shape, you can flip it to the other side. And then we can lower the heat and add in the eggs. So you don't add in all of them, you add in around only like 3/4 so that the last one you can just add in later. So you have some runny eggs at the side still.
Ooh.
So once you put in the eggs, you're going to take 2 forks, just going to like break them up. So you can see as you break it up, you can actually feel that the batter, the starch batter, it has some very chewy parts and some more crispy parts. So once you see that it's a little bit golden brown, you can put in a little bit of soya sauce. So the color becomes a lot deeper as well. So we're going to push all of them to one side first. And we're going to put a little bit of garlic.
Garlic on the side, and then we're gonna add the oysters.
The oysters, you don't want it to cook too long. Remember the remaining eggs that we have? It's time to just dump them in so that you have that
Okay, so it's a bit like runny, more scrambled eggy look.
Then we have the spring onions. So I have them by the side there.
Spring onions.
Spring onions. So the
Okay, here's a plate. We're just gonna plate our completed oyster omelette. Oh, it actually looks beautiful. Beautiful. Slightly runny. You can see the starch. There you have it.
Omelette.
Oyster omelette, local favorite. Okay, let's move on to our next recipe. Alright, so we're gonna make an egg dessert right now. What do we have in mind?
We're doing a souffle with cherries.
Okay, so what's the first step?
Alright, so we heat our pan. So we're gonna put in our butter. It's around 30 grams. Once it's melted, we can add in our flour. This is around 2 tablespoons. So once it boils, we are ready to add in our milk. Add in the milk bit by bit. We're gonna add in sugar. This is around 3 tablespoons of sugar. Keep stirring it because you don't want the bottom of the pan to burn. Once it starts boiling, we're gonna add in the cherries. Alright, so
What's
now
next?
we are doing the souffle. The egg whites. So this is 3 egg whites inside here, which we separated from the egg yolks. We're going to beat it. So for egg whites, they get easily overbitten. So you just really want to make sure you check them all the time. So it's done. So you can pigs are quite stiff. So we just want to lighten this mixture first, so we don't put the whole thing in. We just take a little bit and just fold it in. So once this is a bit lightened, we're going to put it in slowly. So we're using a folding in method, so you don't want it to deflate. So we have a greased tray here. I guess we have too much batter, so we're just going to pick the cherries part and fill it in.
Can't put too much, right? If not, it's like gonna rise and then it's gonna just explode out.
But you don't want to have too little batter also. Alright, so we're done filling it up. Just give it a little shake to make sure that there's no like air pockets in between. And then we can put it in our oven for 200 degrees at 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
Yes,
Alright.
for 15 minutes.
Okay, so now we're just gonna sit back and wait for 15 minutes until our souffle bakes.
Alright, so here's our souffle. So the souffle can match with almost everything like whipped cream and ice cream because of the hot and cold combination.
Hope everyone is excited to try the 3 recipes that we just introduced today. These Polish eggs from Fermi Voschnack can be bought in Singapore in cold storage and NTUC, brought in by our local distributor Dashun. Right, so in the NTUC or cold storage, you can see it says Fresh Eggs Poland, and this is how you can actually get it in Singapore. There are more egg recipes you can also check out via the Zrovo Egg Recipe Cookbook. The digital copy of Zrovo